another Linux development live stream here, live from our new AMD Ryzen 3950X that we installed and assembled yesterday. A little bit smoke test here. Will it survive our thermal throttling setup here with this not amazing fan? Also, I lowered the voltage a little bit. It's now offset minus 0.075 or so, and I also lowered the memory latency timing there. That was somehow not. Also, yeah, this are the super large previous videos, 64 gigabyte total, 32 megabyte modules that are actually they are super large but slower than the previous models I had in there anyway. So why did we get this? Of course, this kind of multi-core and thread monsters. Exactly what we are doing here, virtual machines, compiling, all the fun stuff. And yeah, also my own CPU stuff. Yeah, we have a problem. So many threads that, yeah, that is now larger than my screen. So probably need to relay out this fun stuff another day. Anyway, I already compiled the Linux kernel a couple of times just for testing. Of course, we have some more reasonable stuff to do, the usual stuff, Rust, Cargo, Firefox, the stuff. Also, we will soon do more interesting stuff. Also, I know some people also like to tune in for this light Linux development stuff here, but are we even 1 point? But we also, this is just the fact of life. You can't have the cake and eat it too. Sometimes we need to do a little bit of regular stuff, updating stuff. Let's see, do we even have a, maybe Firefox might be, not really sure. Anyway, but we definitely have Rust and Cargo, and also of all things Thunderbird. Had a little bit of a cold, so yeah, this also doesn't, nah. The fun of this changing download URLs, Thunderbird. Also, I said it in the video yesterday, of course we are totally thermally limited, just like welcome detard. Just like we learned from the best, we learned from Apple how to thermal throttle our multi-core monster CPU beasts. This is of course this AMD something, whatever. Probably should have googled this. It's even the mid-range AMD, is it Spiral, Wraith? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a small entry level. It doesn't even have a heat pipe. So most likely I will order Noctua 65 millimeter something fan with quad heat pipe thing just for delivery. Yeah, Wraith something. So yeah, so there's like Wraith, what are they even? Wraith Compact and Max and whatever. Spiral AMD Wraith. Yeah, so the thing is, this is a mini ITX. However, even if we go water cooling next year, the stuff is not wasted. I still have, not only do I have the other 32 gigabyte of memory that was previously in there before, also the 2700 now. And yeah, probably time to make another router, compute node, something. So just another, yeah, not really sure. Maybe actually because it would not make so much sense to buy just another mini ITX board. So maybe I just get another fancy non-mini IT, regular fuller size, and keep this compute node with the 2700 and the old memory. The fun of PC stuff, on a Mac you can't upgrade and stuff, and here, yeah, you have some spare CPU, some spare memory, have another secondary build server, test whatever system, amazing stuff, highly recommended. Yeah, so Wraith, how even Wraith Prism. So yeah, what do I even have here of probably, all right, so there is Stealth, and yeah, whatever, and there's a larger one that is, what was the name of this, Max or something. Here we have this. So we have here probably, I guess, maybe this Wraith Spire, maybe with RGB that I don't use. Yeah, so max, that was remembered correctly still. So there's a smaller one. I think we have something like this one. And I've quickly Googled this, so this Noctua should be much better. Not really sure if it will. Well, it's of course mini, compact, whatever. So certainly not the most amazing, certainly as AMD recommends water cooling. But anyway, this cooler also not wasted, because even if I continue to run this as like a router or NAS or whatever with the 2700 super silent system, is anyway nice to have. So Noctua cooler, nothing wasted here. And even if we go water cooling with maybe full-sized board and a more fancy case next year, then that is just one case and one board and maybe the water cooling. So you write here something Pro, let's see what that is. Dark Pro, something, this is Be Quiet. Okay, so yeah, that's also cool. Also Noctua has similar things, but yeah, similar things seen at Noctua, but right now it doesn't fit into the Mini ITX case unless we run it open bench here on the desk. But yeah, running 1350X in Mini case is beyond pushing it. Yeah. Anyway, I had a cold. Sorry for that. So more fancy. So yeah, let's put here some load. I put the Mini ITX board so a little bit a meter, 1.5 meter away, that we don't hear the fans too much. When they spin up, we have here some stuff. So how fast does the stuff build? We have here some updates to do. First of all, making the stuff better. First of all, Thunderbird doesn't even... also, yeah, I have actually a problem recurring theme here of Linux stuff, talking live here about Linux stuff. Fun fact, a decade ago I used actually Emacs and Mu, the cat-like, the email client with cats, if you don't know about that. The problem is I was using X-Emacs, and the latest release of Mu removed support for X-Emacs, which is super annoying. So yeah, if you have never heard about that one, it's also a funny text email client thing. I tested this with Emacs, not the greatest fan of, somehow I feel still more at home with X-Emacs. But anyway, I always used Thunderbird a little bit. I have a really... It worked for decades, more or less, plus minus whatever, Thunderbolt, yeah. But I have a new issue. You can't make this stuff up since a couple of weeks. And the problem is also spending time on debugging this. Maybe I even write. Actually, so for our own operating system and own code base, maybe I just, for the sake of it, write a small email client, like Apple Mail copy of small, keep it stupid simple, of some small thing that just works, like just some megabyte sized off. Because the problem is the Thunderbird keeps freezing now. So you open it, it works. I can click on emails, I can reply and something, and then after like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, it freezes. So yeah, thank you very much. Now I would need to debug what's wrong with this stuff. So many, that is also, yeah, what people don't realize, and why I sometimes say like, this is not the most amazing, and this, yeah, Kmail, also a huge fan of this. A fun thing, if you Detard might know this, if you're new to this channel, decades ago with Rock Linux and desktop Rock Linux, I actually used KDE, but with KDE 4 probably, so yeah, even you have seen this maybe on the previous videos, PS3 even, I had there KDE in Conqueror installed, KDE 3 or whatever, something that might have been. But yeah, with all the, what even was this, something desktop, what was the name? P something. Anyway, Plasma. The recurring theme here, the code base became, even though I was a KDE fan, used Conqueror, even I used Conqueror 15 years ago to browse the web because more snappy than Firefox or something. But yeah, if you make the code base larger and larger eventually, and harder to compile, like even for myself with a G5 and whatever AMD Phenomenon stuff, even if, there you see, why do we have this monster CPU? Because test compiling for you, all this fun stuff. What is this link? So that is free download something. Yeah, so the problem is this doesn't, we need for this automated but probably I've, as usual, digressed, didn't finish the sentence. I meant to say if you make the stuff larger, more error prone to compile and whatnot, then eventually you also lose me there on that fun stuff. Rated for max, yeah, that is true, but this is also that it's this mother mainboard. This is why I made this YouTube videos testing all this fun stuff. Also, I didn't know that the stupid backplane falls off from the cooler, or the BIOS update in this video. So this is also documenting what you don't see on Linus Tech Tips, well, at least dropping CPUs there, but and rolling with the office chair over them. But I'm also honestly surprised, so I very seldomly updated PC BIOSes, like nearly never, of all the vintage boards that I have here firsthand, K7 and IDT WinChip and PC chips and all the 486 fun stuff. So I'm honestly surprised some of the things, how like a little bit error prone and like back and forth and like displaying F1 and delete, or F2 and delete, anyway, to enter the BIOS while it's still updating, like updating our RGB firmware. Are you freaking kidding me? And yeah, so updating the whole experience and some sort. And it's true that this board was only rated for 32 GB max. That is why we tested it. Even with the original BIOS, fun fact, totally surprised me as well. It just worked, but this is also how PCs should be anyway. Detard run KDE Plasma Desktop on Linux, and while I agree about the bloat creeping and still quite a bit faster, leaner than GNOME. Yeah, that is cool to hear. We updated this already a little bit, still probably not everything, but this is also here only on live on this and my other more live channel, updating all this. But yeah, the more I talk, the less I get done. Updated this already a little bit, but also if you want to use T2 on your P3, your SJ Octane or other fun stuff left and right and in between, feel free to send in patches, because can't. But also, yeah, live on this channel sometime soon, like really soon now with this amazing CPU, we will write some scripts. I have already this nightly script exactly for these updates, which, by the way, fun fact, I still wanted to, okay, this is probably not where would be. Good old times, what's new? I actually preferably need here some link to some download. This is really good old-fashioned times. You had there a download and stuff. For the automated update tracker, I need here some proper URL. The problem is, or is first offered to channel users on December 16th, so there is maybe I need some proper URL. The problem is this directory stuff is not so nice to parse. You probably could try it, but the problem is with this directory, there's also often other directories and stuff, so it's much nicer to just like grab a tarball string with a version if it's like some nice directory listing or something on. That's what you do not necessarily have. We can out. So let's first, also the last time I tried this update, so a couple of updates here. I need to go home for Christmas lunch sometime soon, but so only medium lengthy live stream. We also have to update cargo and Rust, the usual stuff that previously built 30 minutes or so on this 2700. So let's see. You do anything interesting with your FPGA yet? Yes, I think so. We tried Clifford Wolf's Pico RISC-V. We implemented video core stuff of outputting grayscale shaded 8-bit and text mode. So implemented a relatively full text mode with attributes, foreground, background color, and a freaking hardware cursor, 16 by 16 pixel real hardware cursor. It's still a little bit off previous videos there. We will also continue now with synthesizing faster than on a Mac Mini here, certainly on this AMD Ryzen. And certainly we will continue with this. So over the time, the FPGA, the video core, I will most likely continue, I said this before, continue a small homebrew microprocessor system. So the video is still a little bit off by the colors are with memory access time. The timings are still a little bit 1 or 2 pixels off with the foreground and background color. And the problem is also, but if you ask me so many questions, I don't make progress with these updates. The problem is, as so often in the details, I wanted to integrate my VGA core with the Pico RISC-V Pico SoC, and somehow Yosys optimizes it away. So freestanding it works, my video core, but as soon as I add the files. Obviously, I add the files as a Verilog files in the make file and instantiate the module there in the PicoSoc module. Most of the design is optimized away. I have the suspicion it has to do with the input and output constraints there to the pins of somehow maybe use those things. At least that's my suspicion, that these outputs are not used, and that is why it's optimizing most of my video output logic elements away there. So yeah, but anyway, sometime soon. Also, yes, also it's like literally it took me a similar amount of time to like maybe an afternoon. So maybe one afternoon for the first taking someone else's VGA signal logic and adding my grayscale frame buffer, maybe one afternoon, and I spent already another afternoon just debugging why my design is optimized away. So yeah, the devil is in the details, the usual 10 and 90%, yeah, 90% of the work takes 10% of the time, and then the last 10%, like you debug like 10 times longer why it's optimized away. So yeah. Yeah, that works. I think I slightly overclocked this memory modules. They are rated 3000. I run them with 3200 with a little bit of, yeah, so far that works. If it also sometime soon, I think officially not really sure. Only yesterday I saw the ECC memory feature stuff, so I will test this out another day. First need to order. I don't even have DDR4 ECC memory here. The CPU, of course, supports this unofficially or something, but not sure. But maybe this motherboard edits this in the meantime. Anyway, let's get some stuff done. So Thunder, Bird, and ideally we should have, we have here already, darn it, so this apparently doesn't our latest release. So this is some kind of URL I usually would want to see. Apparently this also changed. This is my recurring grief here with not found. You set the stuff up. This is what I really time-wasting stuff. Everyone, like not only Apple and Microsoft, ever changing their random stuff, but also open source stuff. Why do they always need to move their stuff around? Releases. Here's latest. Let's see if we are, darn, they probably, here, thank you very much. This could be pasted into the location bar. No, it's not really what I want. So for example, download, what's a freaking heck, thank you very much for this not outstanding service. Yes, the problem is here are also many other numbers, so, but maybe we, yeah, it's also better, whatever, something, yeah, 68. So yeah, no wonder that they moved this, and it doesn't certainly work. Updates on their bird. So let's see, more questions. Something Detailed wrote also earlier, Wikipedia, Trinity, if you're interested in an up-to-date KDE 3 desktop. Trinity, I saw this very theoretically, so you see the YouTube channel is growing slowly. That is certainly nice to see. A huge thanks to everyone for sharing, liking, watching, subscribing, recommending, and so on. And yeah, probably maybe I could slightly decrease the size here for the CPU load. Again, the CPU load, too many cores. I slightly wonder how I should. The problem is, if of course I could make a 2-column, but then of course it takes more time. Probably I need to check others, or just make them smaller. I have already code, like usually the size of this monitor things is 64, I think, pixel or points, as it's high DPI capable, but I have already like when more than the height of something, then already half the size to 32 point pixel things, but yeah. Yeah, also recompression here. 2019 recompression. By the way, did I autofocus or running autofocus also? Anyway, here, this is really, can we hear? Yeah, this, by the way, scratching sound of this monitor probably is not amazing. So latest, I slightly wonder, maybe this might send some redirect here, this stuff. So Thunderbolt X or something here. You could paste into the location bar curl. His latest win has so ridiculous. Curl, what do we get for this? Also here, this was an ampersand in there. Yeah, of course it was. Best always, I guess, quote with what? Found. What status code is it even? Anyway, so this, let's see if we get here something. Does it support source? Page not found. No. So this gives us, okay, this gives us some release, so maybe we can just use actually this as an update checking URL so that we don't miss. Let's test this sender. Word. Yeah, so sometime soon we will further automate this. I said this already a couple of times. Let's source update this. And does it... darn it, that was wrong. What have I even done here? Probably the wrong one. Update list number. So what we are getting, apparently it's cancelled due to errors executing, max timeout, something. Operation cancelled due to errors executing curl T2 updater, something, location, whatever. Why? It's probably downloading this directly, I guess. Not found. What? Exe? Setup exe? What the heck? Did this not work earlier, or download product Thunderbolt latest Linux? What? Where do we now get the setup exe? Speaking about setup exe, this AMD processor came with some single quotes. What do we not have? But single quotes should work. Wait a second, did I? Here are some quotes. Did I not? Was this not with? Or maybe this update stuff doesn't. Our scripts doesn't quote it, maybe. Speaking about stupid setup exe, this AMD Ryzen came with some stupid AMD game code thing, and of course wanted to claim it there. You need to register on the stupid AMD promo codes website thing, and then you would think, I mean, already annoying enough, of course they want a freaking account, because why not get some personal data? Really not cool AMD, but the even bigger issue is I open some stupid AMD account that I never ever asked for, and then they want to run you some product validation tool or so, PVT or whatever, certainly some Windows access. So I mean, not only why, I mean, it's also hilarious, right? They want to give you a free game. Is the code not enough? They need to run some stupid CPU ID thing, or also 3 megabyte whatever product verification stuff. By the way, do I run this word of... we actually have 9% drop frames, but this is most likely not the Ryzen CPU's fault. This is most likely the stupid DOCSIS internet. Yeah, we run this on ultra low latency though. What? I forgot something. Lang en something. Let's see. No, this sounds okay, no? So this is all of this. But it could be that this is not fully escape safe, which probably it should be. Also here, 32 threads and still running VI. That's how we are doing it. Update list. Does this? No, this doesn't. Is this? But this looks... Or maybe this is not quoting it so as... yeah, the whole, so probably the whole thing here, this thing is not... there's actually some stupid C++ program for a decade ago. A friend of mine thought maybe it's cool to run statically typed C++ code to build stuff, but in my opinion that was a failed experiment. That is a little bit left over of this stuff. But yeah, this downloads this directly. Probably this was -- location, I guess, probably needed for whatever. And yeah, this so yeah, probably I need to change this, but probably I will, yeah, so all this work for nothing. Yeah, I found that. Okay, this would work in theory, except maybe we comment this out for now because it's only causing problems for, anyway, probably not tweaking the C++ code. I will rewrite this anyway, maybe even in Lua time visual. I'm not really sure if I write the new stuff in shell. VI is just Vim, tiny anyway, so very modern and fancy. Navarro Wacom, put a backslash before the ampersand. Yeah, maybe, but it's running location anyway, so this location, I think this can actually check this curl. Doesn't help me much. Location is probably to download the following, the redirect, which may be handy if you're using the combination of allocation. Where is it? So location, the server reports that the requested page has been moved to a different location here, then header something, this option will make curl redo the request. Yeah, so as we run this for whatever reason with it, it's not helpful in any way. It doesn't make sense to download this table directly. So it could work theoretically, but yeah, even there you see always the small details. Anyway, let's Thunderbird could have already. Yeah, so this is a little bit of an update. I'm pretty sure this will not build anymore. Which yeah, Thunderbird. So problem is I'm running a crazy combination. I'm running this on my portable SSD here, a USB 3 SSD, the Samsung one that I usually have in everything else. And here, of course, this doesn't work anymore because client MK must be used via Mach. Thank you very much. I figured so much already. And also, yeah, you see how fast this is extracting 10,000 or 100,000 of files here in a snap and failing instantly. So yeah, this Ryzen, you get build errors even more instantly. The issue is, I think the last time, because yeah, time and stuff, I think the last time what I should not do but have done is, the last time I updated Thunderbird already without fixing the build. So the last time I was like YOLO, whatever. Maybe someone else want to fix it, but certainly not. So they changed the build system. Now we know you need to use the stupid Mach stuff. So maybe something like this sort of thing or so. Let's copy this to Thunderbird conf. Let's see, what do we have here? So this and this. So this is probably, yes, oops, sorry, pasted this maybe somewhere. Let's see if that helps. Also, so this rebuild will be much slower because I disabled TempFS, so now it's extracting the sources on this USB 3 stuff. But anyway, yeah, 16 cores allow you to faster build errors. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is also the difference you see. Extracting this is most likely the stats you see. How long this took here on SDA probably. So yeah, I need this for. By the way, maybe I run it like this. There's Ethernet. Yeah, many CPUs. You get the idea. If you have some idea for the. Cannot find project mail. What would be the 2019, after building Thunderbird for decades, you need to Google the latest compile from source instructions because never change your build system often enough. Build configuration enable COM mail maybe no, because whatever. package sender. I mean, the thing is, I could of course run tempfs. The only thing is, as set up SNT2, of course we theoretically could change it. But when we have done this, is tempfs also maybe even before Gentoo for 15 or whatever years the support. And back in the day, running tempfs on like a 512 or even 384 whatever megabyte Spark, Ultra Spark 5, of course, a little bit memory constraints, so this is why this tempfs is unmounted, and then of course the stuff lost. Here application mail. So what did they wanted us? So this is why this is unmounted, otherwise here com mail. So let's see. Maybe okay, let's so for this kind of stuff, of course I could use tempfs and build again, but what did I want to say? Never read comments while finishing your sentence. YouTuber problems. Yeah, this is why, due to memory stuff, we unmounted this. Hey, it's starting to build, and certainly allows us to fail very quickly. Cairo is none of Cairo GTK. Actually, so the fun stuff for this kind of stuff, I could actually use tempfs, and maybe theoretically we switch back to that now, but just for the pure build speed. I thought some patch would not apply, which most likely we will get next. So GDEP's wrong, this is that, GTK something, Cairo GTK 3, let's hope that better builds. And yeah, because I thought some patch will not apply and then rediffing, I would need to have the sources around as reference. Let's see how that goes. Of course it fails, because why not? Unknown option, disable GStreamer, yeah, amazing stuff. Price, so I paid a full premium price of 950 euro, which is pretty much. The thing is, of course, maybe as cheapskate as I am, I would have maybe waited another month for these prices to come more into the 800 euro range. But as we are a YouTuber and a professional company here, then yeah, certainly this CPU, no surprise here for the recurring subscribers to this channel, it's company CPU, right? So at least I get the VAT back, that the things that you don't have at home. So it's, I think the net cost for my company are 790 euro. The rest is VAT, which we get back in Germany for business to business. So yeah, but otherwise full premium price. Anyway, if you want to save a little bit, wait a month or two until the price drops another 100 euro. But for us YouTubers and professional company people, already something to get the stuff done. And so mail, what did I want? I wanted to check web, www Firefox. What do we have here for GStreamer? Yeah, so that is commented out, because also you see my recurring theme, I'm not making this stuff up, right? I wish this stuff would fail faster. I mean, it's thanks to the Ryzen, it's already failing pretty fast, but yeah, this is, nah, whatever. Maybe also let's make it a little bit more compact here. This whatever, it's not working anyway. Something of this sort. I wish this stuff would fail faster, meaning evaluating those options. You see, it starts already building a little bit this and that, and then after, especially if you have a lesser CPU, it might take already 5 minutes just to fail because it doesn't support some options. So yeah. Let's see how far we are getting now. But it starts to configure a little bit more. Enable system Cairo is not supported. That's also, yeah, it took like 12 seconds on this monster CPU to fail. Thank you very much. Also 2019, where's even system Cairo? What? It's not even in here. What the heck? Maybe it's in. We usually try to factor out some common code, so that is in www Firefox. How many drop frames do we even have? Maybe here. disable system Cairo. So yeah, thank you very much. Also, I mean, so you see how much stuff is already commented out. Usually we delete stuff just with this complex packages. I usually leave it there just for reference. And maybe another day I just delete it. But I also slightly wonder, yeah, not supported, I slightly, does it mean this is also, I'm sorry to say the H word, I really hate it though. Usually I prefer shared libraries, have it once, like one component, one module, like Cairo, once in your system. This is, in my opinion, really on the next system is, where is this coming from now? This is really stupid that disable, where is this even now in Firefox? Oh, wait a second. This was probably the wrong file, darn it. But system Cairo, where is this? Let's revert this. Probably I was looking in, this is Mozilla or something shared, or what is conf, whatever, what? Maybe this is actually in CMonkey for being the legacy of, probably CMonkey and other packages I have not updated in quite a while though. So Mozilla configure system Cairo here and enable. So this is not, yeah. Anyway, so this, yeah, as it's not supported, then we need to probably accept like SED and substituting it away. We can actually, in the meantime, open here a new retro vintage terminal, SU here, this stuff, and of course with the wrong password. And I wanted actually to build, update Rust, and so yeah, now we are compiling here. Maybe actually it makes sense to, this is, yeah, have here like two overlapping terminals for best matrix like look and overview of build errors. As with this we are failing quickly now. So yeah, update. The issue is, first of all, was there even, probably Firefox we also don't get, right? 71, what is the latest Firefox version? And this is what I meant with, this will be one of the last months, and then we are doing AI in 2000. Firefox, actually can also, and then 2020 will be the year of more automation and AI and stuff. Just download support, get more from, yeah, also yeah, 2019, can't make this up, stupid pop-ups, get more from Firefox, like seriously, what the heck, I just want the freaking browser. And Firefox account, yeah, 71, so maybe this is actually up to date. And then source update Rust, we certainly have a new Rust-C version. So yeah, what do we even have? Let's see, update Rust-C. By the way, this is the first time, so obviously yesterday was Christmas, where the main celebration here is in Germany. I think many US and international might celebrate more today. Let's see, this might not be the next, so this is the first day I'm putting here reload except test compiling the kernel, so if this stream disappears then we crash this undervolted and overheating mini ITX thing here. What version was this? Cairo was, not Cairo, too much Cairo Rust-C. So yes, 30, okay, this is actually the next version. So far so good. We also, and there you see, so not only a full load on, as you see here on the side, full load on all the cores, because massive parallel make and whatnot mach load source compilation stuff, but also recompression, yeah. And yeah, the sources are so large, even recompressing the stuff takes a while. It's also really disappointing how many drop frames we have. This is hilarious, right? We have, the router is an AMD Phenom 2, maybe, 905E or so, a quad-core router running Linux, a business DOCSIS cable, and business DOCSIS cable dropping frames here like there is no tomorrow. Like literally a neighbor's, when I borrowed a neighbor's Wi-Fi in France, this works, the neighbor's Wi-Fi worked better than my bloody freaking business office cable. That is also hilarious. It's yeah, infrastructure 2019, big corporations, you name it. So more load, Rust-C, only live here for this. Yeah, theoretically we could continue with more freaking stuff. Should implement quality of service on your network and router. Yeah, I should actually monitor where this freaking stuff is getting dropped. Of course, they are all a little bit cheating, right? Most likely when I run speed test, they of course quality of service the speed test. So even if I run here, which by the way now we get here the IP here though, which anyway whatever. So even though this probably, how many drop frames? 6,900. And yeah, this is of course downstream, so whatever. But we have, I think we pay for maybe 550 or so. You see how good the upstream, well, good and good. And this is what I mean with cheating. Of course, the quality of service, peering wise and whatnot, the internet test stuff, they even, funny enough nowadays, the support even tells you, did you run speed test? So yeah, there you have it, advertisement, but yet to YouTube peering and whatnot, you get all the, yeah, IP tables. Yeah, I should actually, but I guess so. Now we have, of course, racked this up enormously, 7,100 drop frames. So that certainly was some hundreds lost frames. I'm not really sure if I can optimize there something when it's lost at Vodafone Cable Germany stuff. So yeah, probably if it's like not our router and stuff, but lost at their peering and their to YouTube overloading stuff, then yeah, probably. So 30 FPS, I think. So I mean, certainly this is much more a beast than the aging Mac Mini. So while we are at it, we also have cargo. Which somehow, what host not found? Are you freaking kidding me? GitHub. Why is this cancelled due to what? Why did I say host not found? Anyway, maybe slightly confused. Too much code of whatever. And do I even have some? Did I close the Firefox? Maybe. What do we have here? You can't make up for package loss, but you can schedule network traffic more optimally here. Like, yeah. I have the feeling it's mostly packet loss and their backbone routing stuff, but actually, I think, so what is really stupid, and there you see also the theme here of, also the problem is, of course, this live stream is not the most popular, I totally understand this, but I wanted to do some updates anyway. I should theoretically patch OBS, because right now we probably stream over IPv4, I guess, because the code in OBS, I patched this, you might remember I made a stream with our IPv6, so our office is now dual stack. We have here IPv6 since some months since that live stream there, but I even patched OBS because IPv6 was not working in OBS. They have there some code, but this code is buggy, and the problem is I would need to refactor some more of this code, and maybe we theoretically could do this, but I'm not. If I see other people code, it's like, why? Not really like motivated, because ideally this code should of course try IPv6, and if it doesn't work, IPv4. But right now, I think so. I patched this, but even with my patch, it's because the surrounding code. It's like, if IPv6 is there and we're using it and it fails, then it goes out of the whole connection function stuff. So this should be further refactored, like trying IPv6, and if it fails, still try IPv4. It might be that streaming over IPv6 is more reliable if we are with the routing and their backbone and peering more lucky with some IPv6 connection there. So Mr. Bonk with his suck CPU is there, pointer addressing. So yeah, what did I even wanted to do? Yeah, so you see this stuff is building, that is what we need it for. And even with this, of course, we also wanted to check cargo. Let's do first cargo, because yeah, also Rust and cargo. It's if it would not be for Rust, cargo and Firefox, I might maybe not even need the CPU. Yeah, anyway, it's nice to have it anyway. So archive, okay. So actually I wanted, so this is a generic, I was actually thinking, do I theoretically another day, we should actually implement here some generic pattern matching, because actually for all of those, something archive like GitHub, we could automatically translate this to releases, so that we don't need to hard code this for each and every of those packages. Also here, modern web stuff that can't directly list the previous themes. So releases there. That is what I mean, like theoretically probably another day I will do that. So cargo now is probably no. Why not? Maybe because this, okay. All the stuff we need to really improve soon, because I'm really getting tired of typing all this stuff here manually. Also sometime soon next, if you followed this channel, you know that with all the Mac stuff we previously didn't have too many proper GPUs, and this is first this 30, what is it even, RX 560D, or this Chinese OEM SKU. Of course good for this low power mini ITX, but sometime soon, maybe really soon, we also need to get the proper GPU, some Radeon 5700 or something of that sort. Let's see what we find, and then have some more proper GPU stuff here. So cargo 39. So what I usually do is, because this stuff is failing anyway, update the next version here to see where it breaks. Although we have 40, and then yeah, certainly you see not the time best spent with updating all these packages. And in T2 this is already like a lot automated, with super nice to edit, not source tarbolts, not on some mirrors, and nicely packaged, most minimal metadata patch set here. And with that, other distributions have even more manual labor intense work here. Build cargo, not really sure if that is the best idea. Usually I test builds in each version, and now with this Ryzen we can do this more often, because previously it just took like an hour. That was annoying. And what's your CPU temperature right now? It's a thermal limit. Actually, I increased this slightly. So it was previously thermal throttling at maybe 93. Previous video yesterday's, I think it showed 93. And now we are at, oh no, we aren't. Oops. Why are we at 82? What? That is funny. Usually I increase this in the BIOS, so I increase this, so not only tweak the memory settings, and I undervolted a little bit more. By the way, detard, I googled, it sounds like this 1.4 volt. I think that was a nominal voltage. I found also on other websites. As you said, it looks a little bit high. I undervolted a little bit more. I read that you can't decrease it too much, so I only went like 0 to 5 less. So from yesterday's video was 0.05, I think. Now I have 0.075. I don't want to have this crashing too much, but yeah. Let's see what frequencies. So yeah, all cores loaded, but if you actually wait a second, this maybe this is, you know what, this is not using all cores, I guess. Yeah, this is stupid Rust stuff. This Rust also, why I'm not the most impressed with Rust. Not only I'm not even liking memory safety and whatnot. Yeah, amazing stuff. However, I'm not even liking the language the most, but that's a topic for another video. And then the stuff, not only is it annoying to bootstrap, takes forever where you need a Ryzen for. So there you see, even with more cooling, most likely we would not get more performance out of this, because single threaded stuff, that is also why the temperatures now is only 80 something. And I increased this from auto was 93. I set it to manual 95, I think, maybe. Something of that sort, so yeah. So, but anyway, we will increase cooling because why not? And so what water cooling did you put? Water cooling did you put with him? What lower? No, because you are past the turbo window on all cores and it's throttling. No, so it's lower. So we are usually throttling again 93, 95, but it's just like Rust. And also, so what is our maximum? So we get, let's sort this. Sort by. So yeah, 4.2 is, although this is not the most, but anyway, even the highest. The microphone cable, oh, it's not long enough. Let's take a look on the package. We have here max 4.7, but this is maybe only one core, not sure. We have right now, we have 4.2 something, but we have some back at least, so we have at least like 2 cores and like something. So yeah, 2 times, yeah, also a little bit OBS, Chrome, a little bit background stuff, and Pulse Audio, but otherwise, yeah. So the load average right now only like, yeah, less than 7. Load average, of course, being how many processes are currently in the active scheduler run queue there. So yeah. Also, actually, this is maybe, okay, this is slightly, apparently slightly multi-threaded, but not the most. So also this failed, thanks for that. What did we fail now? Compile something, whatnot, help use din, whatever. But there you see, the cooling is not everything. Usually if you type, so this is the cooling is only for if we really have like C and not like this Rust rubbish, but like C stuff that is more loading in parallel, the CPU. But maybe the question is, do we get higher single? I'm not even sure that with better cooling we would get a better single or 1, 2, 3 core boost, not really sure, maybe not. Thunderbird, what did it fail here? So this compiled a while, where's even the error? Error, didn't parse something, where's even, which program? Yeah, in previous times also, in previous times a decade ago, it was always very quickly visible what was an issue. Is this Rust or where is here the first compiling node? Thread objects without an explicit din are deprecated. This is a warning, right? So where's even the 2019 use din, but why is it din error? Does it? Yeah, also Rust is amazing, can't even decode here. Is this a warning or an error? Error use din error. Ah, okay, so this is only named error, but what is even the freaking error now? Default compiling, optimizing, target something, client MK build error. 2019 can't even decode error messages anymore. With GCC and stuff, you at least darn it. How should I even find what failed now? Oh, come on. Warning, where's the freaking error? Oh my god. It's of course really stupid to have here this thing named error, and between this stupid thing named error you don't find where it even freaking failed. So detailed writes, modern AMD stuff only looks at the temperature, but also the rate at which it rises actually detects the efficiency of your cooling, and it won't boost as high. Not really sure. If I would think if it's like 80 degrees, it should still not really. But anyway, we will see how much different it is with a more fancy compact. So there's a freaking build error now. DIN error use. I mean, this is hilarious. Help use DIN. I mean, what's the freaking heck? I only wanted to update Thunderbird and all I got is yeah, also desktop notification on Linux in 2019, right? It's running the stupid notify send, but I mean, this looks like a warning, right? I mean, it's this warning. It doesn't say error. It's hilarious. Error in help use return. Oh, come on. I mean, yeah, modern stuff. I mean, this, you can't make this up. And this is why, I mean, probably on Christmas I should do what I enjoy. Maybe I should stop it and do something on the MIPS or something, because this is also when I wonder why I really get frustrated with Pulse Audio, Firefox, Rust, Cargo. This doesn't give me joy. I mean, this is it's just stupid. I don't even find the error here. This is why, what? 288 compiler. Also, yeah, Rust is amazing. We know how to do code and 288 warnings, because yeah, and deprecating stuff faster than people can rewrite their code, I guess. Maybe our Rust is actually too new. You never know. What Rust version did they check here for? They check for 137. Also, yeah, the Rust, this version is also stupid. We had this in previous channels. It's actually 0 point whatever something, but yeah. Maybe I committed already Thunderbird. It's certainly better than before, because actually we need also package cmonkey for that, as we changed some. German keyboard today. So yeah, and what is this here? This is actually probably I forgot to already not committed the cmonkey for the latest Firefox, actually, I guess. Yeah, I commit this also usually. Not the greatest fan of committing not working stuff, but I knew it was already not working before, because before I did not update this for this Mach build transition stuff. So yeah, whatever. What do we have? Also build error. Okay, this is only shared files. Welcome to 2019. I did this actually, maybe intentionally. There's even too many cool retro terminals. Let's build cargo. So 1 point update. But yeah, certainly at least it builds. It builds until it fails faster than before. So the issue is, I said this in the previous video and can't make this stuff up. You would think even with the latest version you can boot this, strap this stuff, but no, you can't. Also this Rust registry garbage. Also, yeah, okay, actually, so this is actually not my fault. This is just my fault and my fault. This is just a stupid build artifact garbage, so that it installs all the micro dependencies, it builds stuff in the registry caching. Not, so in my opinion, total unusable pile of. I really don't understand how people can argue that this is amazing. Anyway, so yeah, this is finished except whatever. Rust C, and yeah, this needs to be improved, because this shared file stuff shouldn't happen. Maybe we just don't install this build artifact stuff. I'm not yet really sure what to do with this stuff. Rust was already 41, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. So yeah, what are we getting now? Actually, so now we had this cool down. 68 and load. Yeah, right now a little bit threaded Rust C there, only one unfortunately, because yeah, micro dependencies. Let's see, Rust is SOIDEF level garbage something. Comments allowing also added B register to sucks, added support for using B register ALU. So yeah, nice to hear that you have fun with your, by the way, you probably write it in Verilog, or how do you design that? Idle is in the 80 centi junction. So no, idle is at below 60 something. 80 is with some substantial load, right? This was like 8, this was like 3, 4, 5, 6 Rust processors and a little bit multi-threading. So this was with some, as you've seen, with some load. Let's see, did this cargo stuff build or ADM? So idle, we could let it idle a little bit. This, I say this was 60 or 50 something. What after a cold boot and whatnot. Let's see, we had cargo. Shared files that we somewhat expected. This doesn't look like an, or what is it, with something? Sorry. What is this here? Cargo with something, executed cargo, whatever, it looks relatively okayish. But of course, I can't do this well except chatting with you, but otherwise maybe somewhat a little bit boring, just packaging and test loading Ryzen CPUs forever. Stuff, more comments and questions in the audience. I have some cool stuff coming up, except testing Noctua cooler, maybe water cooling and another fancy case, maybe and other fun stuff. We will also do just-in-time compiler. I discovered, I have actually a decade ago started a super tiny proof of concept, just a little bit code generation already for x86 and PowerPC, just a super tiny example, single hundreds of lines of code, nothing fancy. But I will also add MIPS, so I've not yet MIPS, but so I will most likely do some tiny code generator stuff for just-in-time compilation, maybe even with some C-like language front end, so cool stuff coming up, certainly on the Octane. Testing MIPS assembly, also maybe on more on the Octane, so like 32-bit MIPS Octane, maybe some Imagination Tech board. And then also, as I said, operating system, maybe even testing some just-in-time stuff and the stuff in general. So questions in the audience and all the other product stuff and fun stuff and certainly much more than this. But again, recurring themes is someone has to do the stuff, and which is also why we will automate it even more. Questions in the audience. Mr. Bonk writes, not really, emulator for it, that is also cool. Detard writes, if it would be that boring, then you wouldn't be here. That is also amazing to hear. Yeah, anyway. So I think this looks relatively okayish. And again, this Rust and cargo, we also need to optimize this further. Cargo, or should I look into the log file maybe, shared files, because in here. We still need to, you see the real cargo version is 0.40 something. I have no idea why Firefox is checking there for 1 point something. Maybe cargo version is actually, yeah, so I have no idea what the cargo people were thinking, why the cargo version is 1.39 and the download is 0. It's hilarious. So yeah, more intense for fun stuff and philosophical, theoretical discussion surrounding that just-in-time language, operating system and fun stuff, low-level stuff. And Carlos writes, as a C++ programmer, do you think it's worth for me to learn assembly x86 64 or x64 AMD 64? Not really sure. So maybe a little bit knowledge. So like writing assembly in 2019-20 certainly not really, mostly worth it. Having a little bit overview certainly can't help. So maybe getting in the basics of being better able to read disassembly in your debugger. But certainly not write it from scratch from hand. Also, my opinion, x86 a little bit annoying to program. Some people previously said CISC is easier to program. With a DOS, previous videos here on this channel with the DOS examples, I realized how annoying x86 is, because often you want to move stuff around and you can't, because especially with special instructions in I/O, in and out, and other load global descriptor table. You like load the global descriptor table for this protected mode stuff from here, and then like, yeah, can't assemble that because instructions this combination doesn't exist, and then you read the instruction listing like which register, which memory can I use and not. And it's like, yeah. But AMD 64 a little bit nicer because more registers. The original 32-bit x86 more annoying because so few registers, and you constantly need to move registers or store and load from memory. So yeah, but anyway, a little bit knowledge certainly can't hurt, and then it depends what you want to do if you are into assembly optimization, because video codecs or just-in-time compiler stuff, then certainly the more you know the better. Otherwise, yeah. So yeah, some updates. So far this survived, except okay, this was Pulse Audio D not running. Also, what is idle now after talking a little bit? This is, yeah, 57. You see below 60. This will probably come down a little bit more. But why is this jumping from? Why is this jumping so much? Anyway, maybe whatever. Yeah, okay, great, amazing stuff. I probably should go a little bit for a Christmas dinner. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you learned something. More Rust discussion and other language stuff coming soon. Merry Christmas to everyone. Enjoy the days and holidays, and we probably soon see you before New Year. Otherwise, if you don't tune in regularly, Happy New Year already. But next days, some more videos and live streams coming into this channel as well. Hope to see you soon. So far so good. Even a little bit memory overclocked, CPU undervolted, and a little bit thermal throttling, and so far no crash. Amazing stuff here. But we will certainly optimize this and see how much performance we get out of this. Of course, the first fan I will get, the heat pipe cooler. This Ryzen here doesn't even have a heat pipe, I think. This will still be compact, so this will also nice to see what kind of performance update we get with a 65mm quad heat pipe Noctua or so cooler. Still super compact, how Apple uses preferred compact and thermal throttling and hard to service. And anyway, and then we will see for 2020 what kind of water cooling or whatever fun stuff we do. Yeah, was great to see you all here also with your CPU emulator and goodness stuff. Checked out questions. Did I check out all the Threadripper CPUs? No, I have not. Maybe if this channel is growing, of course. Right now, I said it before, we are now a little bit over $3 a day, which is not amazing, but more than nothing. But I only, as if I would, well, if YouTube would be my main occupation, my main job, I would probably still have to spend something. Well, certainly then the channel would already be bigger, because I wouldn't spend like 90% of my time doing our commercial software work here. But because I do this pro software stuff here also, this also allows me to invest into this, and maybe if we are going fancy, very theoretically, we could buy a new Threadripper in 2020, like the latest and greatest, but not really sure yet. I need to think about this, yeah, theoretically we could do this, but the more you share, like, and subscribe, the more finances we have to spend our money on this amazing hardware testing stuff, certainly. But you see, even source compilation here with T2, not loading all of the cores if Rust and Cargo is single-threadedly working for 6 minutes or now 3 minutes on some file. So yeah, but except this, of course, this kind of source compilation, exactly the workload for such massive parallel CPUs. Yeah, detailed writes not worth it, boards are expensive, and yeah, this is also why I got this. You see, super nice to plug it into a last year board and just hum along. I need to think about it if I really want to spend this money. Of course, someday, like in a year or something, when this channel hopefully has 10,000 subscribers, then we can throw much more money on this fun stuff. Maybe even eventually companies want to send something for testing. That would certainly be much more amazing than buying it full price. But I totally agree with Dieter. This is why, as a cheapskate for 950 euro, getting the best bang for the buck here at this price point, certainly. And for most people, I also checked Yosis. I already synthesized the FPGA design. It's mostly single-threaded. Unfortunately, you need to check with NextP and R and Yosis if there are multi-threading parallel options, but certainly, yeah, would certainly be cool for this FPGA stuff if it can be multi-threaded. I would be surprised if it isn't, but maybe it's so complex that they have not implemented multi-threading. Need to check another day, but yeah, that's it for today, or at least now. Maybe see you later or another day. Again, Merry Christmas or holidays, and AM4, Dieter writes, AM4 is absolutely amazing. I totally agree. And also I actually, maybe in yesterday's video, but I actually wanted to go, the problem is with engaging with the comments and discussing them. Actually, maybe, I should actually check, maybe that this was the most expensive CPU is not entirely true what I said on yesterday's video. Because when I was editing the video, I was thinking, wait a second, we, of course, as a company here at ExactCode with our, for example, Mac software, ExactScan, OCRKit and Recompress stuff, doing this for quite some years already. Don't delay it, try ExactScan for paperless office stuff today. We purchased a first-hand brand new, although developer discount, I said this before, Mac Pro. And most likely, I have the feeling maybe those CPUs, although we purchased this as a whole machine, I would also not recommend it, total waste of money. I never do this again. Overpriced stuff. Video coming later today or tomorrow about this Mac Pro situation. But I will never do it again. Also no upgrades, no nothing. And maybe the CPUs in there were more expensive actually. I should actually, where's it, mobile, desktop, Apple, Mac Pro, that was in Xeon. Let's quickly Google the list price of this when new. So maybe this actually, but this CPU, of course, I didn't buy. Do they 5360? That is this one. Maybe this likely was more expensive. Do they list the list price of price? No. Then do no. Then let's check Wikipedia. Would not be surprised if the CPUs were more than 1000. No, we have. But anyway, I didn't purchase them loose, and core base, why is this? Where is this here? This was, yeah, 150 watts. Also, yeah, a decade later, yeah, okay, so then list price, but again, I would not normally not purchase this, so yeah, okay, then yesterday's video a little bit, yeah, okay, with a little bit mark, but also why I don't buy this overpriced stuff, and also why I'm not the most engaged with Threadripper, and also not going for the new Mac Pro, because yeah, so many reasons. Coming to live stream sometime soon. So yeah, the second most expensive, but the most expensive I purchased in single quantity without a system. But yeah, that's really it for today now. And more comments. What do we have here? Dieter, something I was thinking about considering licensing your ExactScan engine and OCR stuff online accountancy firms. There is in Belgium named Exact Online. No, I'm not licensing it, but I only. Are you considering licensing your ExactScan engine and stuff to online accounting firms? There is one in Belgium named Exact Online. Well, we are considering, yes, but so this is not related to us. I also realized, fun fact, but that's probably better for another story time, but ExactCode, in retrospect, I would not choose ExactCode as a company name again, but then yeah, never change the running system. Fun fact, this was only ExactCode was like the 20s. We had like generic code because we were doing C++ template-based stuff, and into this sort of generic code and other similar stuff like this. And And many of this, even a decade ago, many of this already existed. You never hear about something, and this is also not a fan of trademark registered whatever. There's always so many billion people on this planet Earth. People always have similar ideas. So it took us like 20 times to find a name that is not like too much used. So exact code, even like the 20th iteration of tries. And even then, so we operated the company 10 years, and then only after a decade I accidentally uncovered there's another exact soft company that apparently maybe even also existed for quite some years already. So you Google and Google more, and then you only 10 years later you realize there is like exact or just exact, but yeah, whatever. And also fun fact, we could not word mark this in Germany. Also here, we tried to word mark this, but it was rejected with only composition of English words, which I find really unfair. We argued then with the stupid patent office, like, but Microsoft, hello, exact code Microsoft, or just Apple. But yeah, this is like they reformed this a decade ago here in Europe, and now it's also really unfair, right? The big corporations already exist. They have the good old names that they could trademark, and the new companies can't trademark similar names because we changed the rules. It's like, yeah, really not cool. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if I heard about this, but thanks for this, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, if you, in general, if you want to license something, contact us. But working with other companies, mostly a time-wasting business. In the meantime, previously we pushed it more, but in the meantime, it's like, yeah, whatever, YOLO. Let's just do our stuff that we have under control. Otherwise, with big companies, always discussing NDAs, endless negotiations, and at the end, nothing. There is no outcome and no progress and no sale and whatsoever. So in the last years, for many years already, I focused on just doing our stuff that at least we can do what we want to do, and with big companies. But I can tell you stories another day. That's really it for today now. I need to go. Thanks for watching, tuning in. Maybe in the future I need to optimize my comment reading more, but that's it for today. And as always, if you have some comments, leave them below, and I hope to see you soon for all the next fun stuff to come.